Peace, y'all. What up? It is I, your brother Legend, in the building. Welcome to the live. As always, if you want to check us out on TikTok, my username is BIGBROLGND. When you go to my profile, tap on the icon in the top right. It's a little bell, notification bell that you can use to know when we go live. I will be posting all of my replays on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, comment, all of that, just to let us know that you're getting some value from the content. Let the algorithm know as well. What's going on? What up? What up? Shout out to all the Pan-Africans in the building. All you anti-racist warriors. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if y'all are warriors, but you know what I'm saying? If y'all are anti-racist and working on it on an individual level, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing great, lovely. I hope you well as well. I hope you're doing as good as I am. I'm blessed. Had a nice morning. Just had some lunch up here nice and early. Today, behind me, I've got some of. I moved away from some of the entertainers. I got some of those that are, see themselves as leaders in our community. Let me know if y'all can see the top question. Appreciate you, Lily. Let me know if y'all can see the top question in the comments. Let me know. Today we got Lupita, Cornell, Maya Angelou, and Audrey Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Got some people here I want to talk about. And starting on, there's 3 questions. Starting with Audrey Lord, I'm going to keep it a band with y'all. It was disappointing when I found that out, you know what I'm saying? You know, when I started to learn more. You said 2 questions are blocked. All right, let me see if I can fix that. Hold on just a moment. Let me know. Hold on. 2 questions are blocked. I know everybody's phone is not the same. Maybe that's better. Is that better? Whoever said 2 questions were blocked, let me know if that's better for you. So yeah, we got Audrey Lord, Cornell West, Lupita, Maya Angelou behind me. The elders, you know what I'm saying? Those that carried the torch from the ancestors for our people. You know what I'm saying? Audrey Lord was disappointing. I love her work. Yeah, that's right, Maya. Maya is one of the controversial parts of, you know, her work was that, you know. Keep tapping like, y'all. When we get to 2K likes, I will start bringing people up here. We're going to ask yes, no to the questions up above. Give us your answer. 5 Panther paws, as always, to kick a guess. Y'all send me 5 Panther paws. You can send them one by one. When we get to 5, I will be kicking the guest that is speaking, so we can keep the conversation productive. Oh,
Thank
what's good, D?
I was just in there arguing with idiots.
Oh yeah. D is a sucker for punishment, but Audrey Lord, you know, I love her work, love what she did as far as educating us about the plight of our sisters. But you know, she did, you know, speak about, you know, feminism and stuff like that, and she went and found her a frosted female to do that with. Very interesting. It's also why I say we can learn from the scholars. Don't mean we have to agree with everything that they say. I've learned a lot from Audrey Lord. I've learned a lot from Maya Angelou. I've even learned some from Cornell West. Lupita ain't teach me shit, but you know, she she's in the culture. But when it comes to Audrey, um, I say that she's important. I say that Bell Hooks is important. Bell Hooks was celibate. She didn't, have any significant other. I think she did maybe at one point, but she didn't. She chose to be celibate for a long time. So I say that these womanist icons are important to learn from. We also need to, and I know a lot of y'all don't like her, but I think Shahrazad Ali belongs in that conversation as well, as one of the only women that spoke up for Black women, but was also married to a Black man. So, she actually lived the life of unifying and building up the Black family structure, whereas other women that were also womanists and have a lot of valuable insight didn't exactly live that life. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's talk about it. Interracial relationships, is it harmful to Black unity / progress? Is preferring to date another race a fetish? And can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? I would say to Cornel West, Maya Angelou, and Audrey Lord, the answer is no. I would say the answer is no. They have done great work as anti-racists. They have done great work at teaching our people about how to dismantle and unpack and unlearn oppressive power structures in our society, or in a society that we've been forced to participate in. But I would not call them pro-Black. And I think that's something, we could talk about. I'm going to start giving out grades because nobody wants to come up yet. Go ahead, D.
It's the magical reset. I need something to go like chandelier. Hello.
Hold on. They got sounds. I just don't use them. Let's see.
Like the crystals.
Crystals.
That, like that. But I wish it was longer. Like,
yeah.
But anyways. You know, I was going early. I was going. Hello. You guys have entered into Brother Legends Live. You guys, you're here with Brother Legend, and we want to have a discussion, not a debate. We want to talk about the issues that are affecting our community while also making sure that we're educating and elevating our people. At the end of the day, I need you to do a few things for me. It's time for the participation. You guys, there's 265 people in this room. Tap, power tap that screen. We need you to tap in and tap up. Share the live, invite your friends. We'll even take a few of your enemies, but please leave the poons where they are. I've dealt with enough tap dancing today to save a life. So at the end of the day, tap up, share the live, and make sure you subscribe to Brother Legends Live. Make sure you subscribe here and on YouTube, Brother Legends Live. And don't forget to join the Discord, b1initiative.org, where you're going to learn, be able to educate, and elevate all in one space. You guys, tap the screen, share the live, but most importantly, gift your host. Have a good night.
Shout out to Lead the Way. Appreciate that was Lily. Shout out to you for supporting the live goal. Go ahead and move the conversation forward. Appreciate you, D. Miss Parliament, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hey, I'm 23. I'm Asian. She, I guess.
All right, talk to us.
I'm coming from like obviously a non-black perspective, but I do have a few opinions. Are interracial relationships harmful to black unity? I do believe at some points there can be a little bit of harm to black unity because again, there's some people like especially like parents, especially the older generation, are more stuck on keeping their race, on, so they rather get you married within your own race rather than you going out. But for the newer generation, I think actually it's more open if you're able to date other people of your choice. I think there is a little bit of progression there, and I don't think it's a fetish. There are some people who may fetishize, obviously, different races, but I think if you just find someone and you're attracted to them, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't believe, leaving, being outside your race is an issue because at the end of the day, your bloodline still will carry on. Your race will still carry on. It will just be a mix if it's just not, whole black, if it makes sense. And also, can you be pro-black? It depends on what you mean by pro-black. If you mean like you are pro, equality and, anti-racism, sure, there's a lot of anti-racist people who aren't black. Will they understand all your struggles to the T? Probably not, but can they understand to a degree your struggles? Probably. They can have empathy and they can respect boundaries. So that's where I come from when I see these statements.
All right. So I will give you an F, but I would say I see where you steered in the wrong direction. You you answered the first question from an Asian perspective, and our parents don't have to worry about keeping our race pure or whatever you said. Like that may be some Asian thing. Black people are mixed all over the world. Even in the continent of Africa, we're the most genetically diverse people. Everyone non-African is literally just a dilution of the diversity that comes from African genetics or DNA. So, yeah, we're not really worried about keeping their race pure. Like that's a whole different. Our parents really don't do that. When we're talking about unity, we're talking about Black people being able to come together with each other in a world where they haven't been allowed legally to do so for very long. And still today, there's obstacles in front of us when we try to come together and form our own relationships with our own people, as opposed to an Asian environment where those obstacles don't exist and people might just go and be with someone else. We have obstacles to unifying. And interracial relationships has not ever been something that Black people have chosen intentionally to allow. It's been something that was forced on us, especially here in America. We didn't even choose to come to this country, but then on top of that, we didn't march in the streets to say that we wanted interracial relationships. We had just coming off of 300 years of non-consensual interracial relations. And then those that captured us and brought us to this land decided that they would allow themselves into our communities when we started talking about community power and what we wanted to build for ourselves. So it did disrupt our progress. And then when you're talking about preferring to date another race, if you happen to end up with someone of another race, I can see how you're saying that's not a fetish, but that's not someone that preferred to date outside of their race. So that's what the question is. I don't want to take it somewhere that is not the question. The question is, if you prefer to date another race other than your own, prefer, meaning you don't date anyone but, or your exclusive dating practices only include a certain group of people outside of your the group that you belong to, is that a fetish? The definition of fetish also includes racial stereotypes. So saying that you prefer a certain race is automatically going to have a stereotype involved because there's no monolith to a people in a racial category. And then, can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? The answer to that is no, because pro-Blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the Black community. There is no one that is non-Black that is going to prioritize what's in the best interest of a community that they don't belong to. It would be antithetical, But also, if we're talking about building within our community, you can't build a brick house with wood. So, if we're going to build together a black community, then we need black people to do that. We can't have non-black people building a black community, because then it wouldn't be a black community, would it? It'd be, I don't know, New York.
I agree with, especially with the last bit you said. It makes sense. I think it's interesting to have open conversations about this because I never saw it as that point of view. I'll be honest, like, I don't know. Pro-black, I've heard it, here and there, but I've never really looked into it in depth. But it makes sense. Like, how do you build a community if you're not a part of it? How do you support it if you aren't even black? It makes sense. So I can see your view. And also when it came to, obviously when I said bloodline, I was talking more about because I'm South Asian and I have a lot of friends who are different backgrounds, Arabs, Somalis, and I know within their community it's more like I've heard also that like, oh, you shouldn't really be dating outside your, not even black, it's like your specific ethnic group. Like if you're Somali, you shouldn't really be dating. They don't really prefer if you date someone else, marry, that's the word, marry someone else who isn't that ethnicity. So that's where I was coming from. So I can see your view because again, with a lot of especially African Americans, a lot of them don't even know where they're from because of what's happened in the past.
I don't think
That's
you should
straight.
say that. I don't
So
think you should say that. I don't think you should say that. Please don't say that.
my bad. This is what I've
Don't
heard
say that.
from different lives.
Yeah, I know. That's
Okay,
we know where we're from. Don't say
okay
that.
then. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, when I was speaking to different people, they said that I've heard from some that we a lot of us don't know where we're from because of it. So you disagree with that? Would you say?
They don't know where they're from. They don't speak for black people. That's
I
another problem that
see.
non-black people do, is they talk to one black person and then they think that their person speaks for all black people. It's got to
No, I'm
stop.
not saying all. I said I was spoken to it was a few of them on one live and they came at me and they were like, we don't know where we're from, so don't tell us like we don't even know. So
They
that's
don't
why
know
I
where
assumed
they
that.
are from. But we're talking about black people right
Okay,
now. We're
my
not
bad.
talking about them. They don't know where they're from. That is their problem. That they don't do the research to know where they're from. African Americans know where they're from. Me, for example, I am from New Jersey. I'm an
Yeah,
African
I know what you mean. New
born in New
Jersey.
Jersey. I know where I'm from.
Okay, I'll take that into account. And also, with the dating other, I understand. For me, okay, I'll talk from an age perspective. For me, the reason I say I probably wouldn't date within my own race is because the experiences I've had with a lot of Asian people, and I know how a lot of South Asian parents are, especially the older generation. That's why for me, if I say that I'd rather not date within my own community, it's not because I fetishize certain things, stereotypes about them. It's just because I know how my own community are, and therefore, not all of them. I wouldn't say I'm exclusively not gonna marry someone from my own community. I preferably wouldn't. So would you say that is, for yourself, would you say that is valid for someone who has experiences with their own community? They know how it works with older generations and therefore they wouldn't really be inclined to date someone within their own race.
I'm not understanding that question. D, you want to go ahead?
I was gonna say she'd be inclined to some therapy because anyone that doesn't like their own group of people is very strange. That's just very odd. For like,
Not even people,
see,
men.
your own
Like,
community is a monolith. Every Asian person they all the same.
no, I said I wouldn't be close to it, but I don't ever see myself really getting to it. I
So
said there's a chance that I probably wouldn't.
okay,
Big chance
so
I
there's a
probably wouldn't.
chance you
But
probably
small
wouldn't
chance I would.
listen to what I'm saying. There's a chance you wouldn't marry a South Asian, but there's more than just South Asians.
Yeah, I'm talking about my own self as my own
No,
experience
no.
because
Yeah,
I know
okay,
how a
so
lot of
listen,
older
I'm gonna
people
say it
are.
again. There's more than just South Asians. It's not just South Korean people. There are literally a diverse group of Asian people. So would you date a Chinese person? Like it just doesn't make sense to say that. So are you saying that you want to date a black man or a white man? Like I'm confused. Because there are several different groups of Asian. See how that didn't make no sense?
See, what I said was South Asian demographic is usually India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, along those lines.
And I asked,
So I would not.
are they the only group of Asians?
Yeah, what about it?
That said they're not the only group of Asians. That means you have other groups of Asian people that you can date or marry.
Yeah.
So then what's the problem?
There's no problem. I'm just saying from my experience. He said that if a lot of times it's based on stereotypes, so you wouldn't date somebody. No, you would date somebody because of the stereotypes you've heard about from other races. I'm saying what about experiences you've had within the South Asian community that may put you a little bit off dating someone from
Oh,
your own
okay. Well,
race.
Asian and South Asian are not two different races. They're both Asian. So that's something else entirely. That's intra community. That's an intra community thing. That's something going on within Asian communities. That's not a
Well, the
different
focus
race.
wasn't on the race bit. It was focused on the fact that people may have experiences within their own community, therefore makes them not say classify every single person as a bad person, but may classify them as, hey, I've had my experiences with a certain community, and therefore I don't see myself ever being there. Maybe it's a possibility, but because of the negative experiences I've
Oh,
had,
so they have a
I'm
trauma
more
that they
open
need to
to
go to
that.
Right.
therapy for.
Therapy.
So that's just trauma. You need to go to therapy. That type of
Perhaps.
toxicity, you need to heal from within.
So that's
If
anybody who
if
looking
something
for.
happens to me from one person in a group, and now I am now projecting that treatment onto everyone within this group, there is something wrong with me. There's not something wrong with those people. It's something wrong with me. I gotta go to therapy. There's something wrong with me. So
Mm, I can see
yeah,
that.
that I mean that's
I can see
that's
your view.
I mean that's not a view. That's just okay. I mean,
I mean, I'm
it,
here to
I
listen,
don't
and
think this is
we're
something we
here to
should even have to
conversate.
explain to somebody. I think that's very like easy. Like don't be a dick. Like I don't know how to explain that. Like
I'm not
I
being a dick. I'm just saying my
not you.
personal
I'm not saying
experiences.
you. I'm just
Said in
saying that's the
general.
person you
Okay,
just
I see, I see.
described is a bigot. Like you're saying if someone is a bigot, like that's a bigot. Like if an Asian, I might not like this conversation. If I go to my local grocery store and there's an Asian person working there and I'm like, I don't like you because I had a bad experience with one of the people in your community. Like I'm a bigot. That's horrible. Like oh my, that's racist as hell. That's a racial
Mm,
stereotype.
well, you know what it is? I think it really depends on what type of person you are, but if you do preference someone out your race, I don't think there's a massive issue with it. I think you can question yourself about why. But again, if that's your preference, at the end of it, you can't control what people do. You
All
can
right.
talk
Now
about it
tell
and
me
you can
one
take
reason
ownership.
why. Tell me one reason why. Imagine there's an Asian woman that prefers to date black people, right? And she prefers to date black men
Mm,
specifically. What is
yeah,
one non-racist reason why she would say that?
let me think. An Asian woman who wants to date a black man. I'll be honest, I can't think of one non-racist reason. I don't know
There
why.
is not
If she said
one
she was
because
favored.
anything that you say is going to be a obtuse just way of looking at black men. If you say, "Oh, because black men like
Yeah.
basketball," that's racist. If you say, "Oh, because I like their culture," all black men don't participate in quote unquote black culture. They still black. If
Mm,
you say it's because I like dark skinned people, there are dark skinned Indian and Asian people. There's dark skinned people all over the planet. So why
yeah.
are you narrowing it down to black people? And all black people don't have dark skin. So we exist in every color from chalk to charcoal. That's what makes us black. I told you earlier, we're the most genetically diverse people. So there is no one thing we all have in common that someone could justify preferring to date a single race. It goes to all other races as well. If someone says, I prefer to date this race, that is a fetish because you have made up in your mind
Mm.
how you want to project your prejudice onto something that satisfies some lustful desire that you have. And that's what makes it a fetish. I totally disagree.
I can see your point, but the thing is also, what about influences around you? Do you think like influence? I think nowadays, especially in the UK, being mixed race is also like this new thing where people want interracial couples are increasing because of media. They see people around them like it would be really good for. I'm gonna give an example. For example, some this trend went around where someone wanted like mixed race babies was a trend at one point, and I think that was very weird that people want to go for only mixed race babies because of the physical attributes that certain celebrities have. So I do think that social media can have influence also on the younger minds about which type of race they prefer. And I see from your view it can be a fetish of a certain race because they want certain things out of
Even
it.
saying you want a mixed race baby is a fetish that is
Hmm.
sick. That's saying I
I
want to use
agree.
Asian women to have a half Asian baby. Oh, that'd be nice. Hey, let's go on a date. Why are you on a date with me? Because I want to have an Asian baby. Like, are you serious? Like, that's disgusting. It's still a fetish.
True. I found that really weird, but I can see for me it was more like, oh, whatever, like you date who you want because you fall in love with them. But I can see how some people can twist it into getting something out of it, which they won't admit to. A lot of people don't even think about their preferences that they have. They just say I want it, and they don't
I
really
know
say
because
why. But I
most
can
people
see
are
the point of view.
racist. Most people are racist and anti-black. We live in an anti-black society that makes it
Hmm.
normal to be racist and anti-black. So yes, most people are racist. I can agree with that.
Hmm.
I don't give them any slack. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if that was the right word. I don't give them any grace for being a racist. It's still wrong. Um, but Black Swan,
True.
you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think like just the way that she approached her questions. Well, first let me introduce myself. I'm 33, I'm a black woman and my pronouns are she her. Um the way that she asked her questions and worded them is a way that most of the world that is not us does views us through one lens only. Like, just you came into the conversation and you asked these questions with ease, like, oh, I see, the commercials, and let's talk about mixed babies. And you're saying, well, if I feel like if somebody has negative experiences within their own race and they want to go and prefer another, like, you view us as expendable, you view us as less than, you view us as what the media feeds you. And you also tokenized us. You took one moment on one panel that you experienced, let's say probably what, maybe 20 minutes of one experience with a few black people, right? In comparison to the hundreds, to the millions of black people across this diaspora, you took that experience and you brought that into the conversation to use as your basis to say something that you don't even understand or care to understand. That's what I'm hearing from you. And and it may not be your intent to be this way, but that's what racism is. That is exactly what racism is. Propaganda to keep people believing that we are a monolith, that we are less than, that we are just disposable in conversation and in life.
I'll be respectful. I came on and I said it's an Asian point of view, and I might have said some things which
No,
maybe
it's a
offend them. I
racist point of view.
apologize
I'm
for
not going
that.
to put that on
Right.
Asian people.
But
Miss
also,
Parliament,
one
hold on,
thing,
Miss Parliament, before you continue, I just want you to know that the correct thing to do here is to apologize. Again, you giving pushback is you not caring. That's you seeing us as being
it's not
disposable. Hold on and let
you're
me finish. Let me
misrepresenting what I've
finish. Let
said.
me
I've
finish
let you
because you
finish.
spoke on a community that you do not belong to. So hold on and listen to that community for once instead of believing this propaganda. What you did and you giving pushback to what we are explaining to you and to what we are telling you is problematic. The correct thing to do here is to apologize and then to drop down to the comments and learn something. That's the correct thing to do here. Not come back and tell us with your entitlement of, oh, well, this is what it is. No, we're telling you what we are and you don't like it. And I understand that it's uncomfortable, but that's what you did. And that's the reality of it. Take that, apologize, and leave it at that.
I'm here. I'll talk from where I'm coming from. I'm here to have an open conversation. This is a discussion. If I say something maybe misinterprets your your race, then you can correct me on it. But as you see, I'm learning
Place.
as I'm
You shouldn't be
speaking to
speaking
Brother
on
Legend.
our race in the first place.
Black Swan,
We're
give me a
not up
second to
here
respond.
speaking
I've
on the
let you
Asian community
talk and
because
you're
we are not
speaking
a part
over
of,
me,
but
which I don't
listen,
appreciate.
but this is what you're failing to realize. We're not up here having an Asian discussion because we're not Asian. Do you understand?
I know you're not. I know you're
And
not.
you came up here to speak on our community when you're not a part of the community, and that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Two more pause.
I know what you're trying to say, Swan, but also, again, I came on to learn and also speak and obviously
Miss
talk to somebody who
Parliament,
obviously is black and learn more. One
ma'am.
second, I'm here to learn more. And again,
She
I
don't
did
care.
speak from my view, which I understand may have misinterpreted or misrepresented your community. And I've apologized for it. But again, I understand where you're coming from. Again, I'm going to speak to Brother Legend, and if he thinks I'm being a certain way, he can tell me about it and respectfully have this conversation.
D. Do you see how she defaulted to
I
a black
want
man?
to ask if
You
she
see?
has a black spouse. That's what I want to know. But yeah, I got that.
No, I don't.
So then, what intrigued you in regards to the conversation?
Because I join a lot of debates, conversations on this app. So I saw a discussion. I
So
thought I have some opinion about it, and let me see someone else's point of view. I
one
love learning
more.
different point of views.
So you've talked to a few different black people about black people, right?
I've joined loads of stuff. I don't know. I've joined a lot of things, but probably yeah, I have.
Okay, that loads of stuff didn't mean nothing. If I asked you in regards to black conversation,
Sure, I have. Let's say I
so
have.
what intrigues you about black community?
About the black community.
Thank God. Hey, man, shout out to y'all. Thank you for sending in the Panther Paws. Wanna Mama, big up yourself. SB, appreciate you. Thank y'all. It was a lot of them came from SB, man. Appreciate you for sending them paws in. That was definitely becoming more and more necessary as we were sitting here. My goodness. We hit a ego wall. That's what I call it. We hit an ego wall. That's what happened. And that's the thing. They and automatically default. A lot of people that don't like have the knowledge to carry this conversation. A lot of them default to I'm just asking questions and I'm just here to learn. But then when we answer those questions, and when like it's like if you're just asking questions, right? Like I don't know anything about how airplanes are built. If I join a live about how airplanes are built, and I'm saying, how do airplanes fly? Someone explains to me the wings and how, air moves through it and gets it to fly. I'm not going to respond with, but I heard, you could just put balloons on a plane and it would fly. Like how do, I'm not going to talk about what I learned from other sources and try to like bring that to the This person just explained to me something that I don't know. They answered the question. And so when you do that and you're trying to learn, you should just listen. That's it. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Speak your truth. What's going on, brother?
What's happening?
How you been?
I'm chilling. That was kind of a good laugh. You know how it goes. Shout out to all the delusional people in the world. My name is Speak. I'm 33, super black. He, him.
Talk to us.
So number one, it makes no sense as a black person to do interracial dating. It makes no sense as a black man to date a YT woman. Black and brown people need to stay with black and brown people. Stay within your own race. If you are in America, just because there's a law in place to allow you to marry a YT person does not mean you should do that. That is one of the dumbest things you can do as a black person. You are literally taking several steps backwards to deal with a YT person. Number two, it is a fetish. We know how we get fetishized as black people by YT people. Everything from how we talk, our music, our swag, our vibe, everything about black people is a fetish, and they want to mirror who and how we are, but it's impossible. Me as a black man, if a YT woman looks at me, it's only for a few things. She wants to have a black child, or she's interested in my eggplant downstairs. Number three, no, you cannot be pro-black dating a YT person or dating outside your race. Or again, specifically as a black person, You literally cannot be pro-black with having that type of spouse. Like I said with the first question, you are literally taking steps backwards. How the hell, as a black person, you gonna be pro-black, focusing on black people, and you got this person by your side? Do you think that your partner or your wife is going to prioritize your blackness and your black issues? The answer is hell no. As a black person, you cannot be pro-black having a YT spouse. I land.
Always true. I don't care what nobody say.
Right. We back to square one. Big Al, please mute yourself. We go in order here. Appreciate you. Speak your truth. Appreciate you. I think speaking the first A+ of the day. I think so. So we'll just leave it there. Appreciate you. Let's go to the next guest. Now it's your turn. Big Al.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get into what the Asian girl was saying, but just to go into what the gentleman before you was speaking, I don't believe that's true, because at the same, my thing is this: when it comes to, I think saying that when you say black people, we shouldn't do this, but you trying to make us a monolith. All is not the same. Even if you go down to, well, they say more black people are Democrat. I know some black Republicans, totally different from what I am, but they still black. So you can't say because the person who they choose or who they fall in love with. For example, my niece is married to a white guy, Ben. But I always knew my niece was gonna marry a white guy. Why? Her growing up, her favorite thing was Harry Potter. How many black people you know that were interested in Harry Potter?
A lot, actually. But I hear you.
I mean, I'm just going off from what I know. I don't know many black people that are interested in that.
I'm a major Harry Potter fan myself.
Yeah.
I'm a major Harry Potter fan. I have been since all of the books dropped. I have every single one of them.
Yeah,
I mean-
a lot.
I mean, but I knew just by that being, I mean, she's such a Harry Potter fan. That's the name of her cat. But outside of all of that, I knew more than likely she was going to marry somebody outside of her race. But the funny thing of it is, he was like, well, how can they benefit? She had Ben, who's definitely a white dude. She had him at the Black Lives Matter rallies. He was out there doing all the stuff. So you can't say that because of who you fall in love with or who you connect with. I don't think that I'm pro-black. I know I'm pro-black. Now, for me personally, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I'm gonna have sex with whoever I want to have sex with. They ain't got nothing to do with it. But as far as who I'm gonna marry, it's probably gonna be somebody that look like me, but it's not a guarantee. Because at the same time, I look at it's just like how I look at some people when people say Africans. Okay, a Nigerian is totally different from a Somalian. A South African is different from an Egyptian, even in looks. So,
What does a South African look like?
when I say South African, I'm talking more of the sand people, more of that look like Nelson Mandela, where the Asiatic man comes from. That right there. That's when I say South African. That's what I mean. I ain't talking about the invaders of South Africa. I'm talking about the people that were actually in South Africa. I mean, but you can look at someone like Nelson Mandela and look at someone from Nigeria and can tell they from two different tribes just by looking at them. The facial structure isn't even the same. So that's what I mean. I mean, we're a diverse group of people. We're the only people that can have black and white kids.
I'm gonna be honest, Al. I feel like you're a little bit out of your depth in this conversation.
What you mean I'm out of my depth?
I mean, we're in the ocean and you're like in the kiddie pool.
Okay, what? No, I was just responding to. I mean, and I was gonna get to the Asian part.
But nothing
Totally
nothing that you use to qualify your statements actually proved any point. And I know you don't know that. That's why you said it, and that's why it's like, in order for us to even like really have this conversation truthfully, you would have to do a lot more learning before
I
like.
mean, what are you saying? I don't
Because I
know.
also feel like I'm gonna hit, just like with another guest that came up here. I'm gonna hit an ego wall really fast with you because of the boldness in your ignorance.
Oh, okay, what's my ignorance? I'm trying. Well, we having a conversation. What do you think I'm ignorant on?
Anybody else want to chime in? Go
I
ahead,
I
just
Tia.
find it.
oh go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, Tia. Go before me.
Oh, I just it's really two quick things. I found it funny that you came up and the first thing you said is that like essentially the person before that was speaking was like trying to like flatten blackness, sort of like say all black people are monolith, blah blah blah. But then you basically did the same thing with the example with your niece. Like that was really interesting, because you're implying that black people don't like these things, and because your niece did like that thing, that she is somehow distancing herself from black, and that meant that she was going to marry somebody non-black, even though that's what she did. That's just not the truth. And I don't know how long you've been on this app, but there was a whole trend where black people on this app recreated all the houses from Harry Potter because of their excitement. Black people love the F out of Harry Potter. So I don't even know where that came from. It's just
Oh,
strange.
okay,
But
okay, okay,
I also
okay.
just
Good.
wanted to note very quickly that I think a lot of the issue with people such as yourself is that y'all confuse loving being black with being pro-black, and they're not the same thing. And I'll
Yeah,
leave.
that's the first mistake you made. The very first mistake you made was saying just because a dog can swim that it's the same as a fish. And it's like, man, listen, bro. There's plenty of black people with their non-black significant other that just love waking up and being black every day. But that's not the same thing as being pro-black. If everybody that loved being black was pro-black, we wouldn't need to use the word pro-black, would we? We'd just be black people.
I'm
So,
okay. I'm gonna address some of what she said. She said I did the same thing. When it was saying, about the my niece having a white husband or whatever, and I knew she was gonna be. I knew in probably I wasn't saying that. Oh, no black people watch this. I'm not saying that because one, we're not a monolith. I mean, just because I didn't grow up watching anime, my son watches anime. So and he didn't get that from me. So I can say that, oh, you can,
anime, like Japanese cartoons.
yeah.
Oh, you said anime. I thought you meant Tina Turner.
uh, now, I mean,
Well,
that's
I
what I
think
call
it's,
it.
sir,
That's not my
sir,
thing,
hold
so
on.
that's what I call it.
Sir, I'm gonna meet you where you at, because this is a conversation where brother is trying to like give you a graceful bow out in a sense. So meeting you where you're at is what I'm going to do. One of the first
Okay.
things you said that struck a nerve with me is that you are
Okay.
easily led by your penis. The fact that you said I can sleep with whoever I want and then say, but I'm pro black, is the indicator that you can easily be controlled by any group or race of people because you are easily led by your penis. You're more focused on the pairing based on a sexual encounter than you were actually being able to build a relationship or foundation for a family within black people. That's the first thing. And I think what a lot of brothers don't realize is YT men know that's y'all weakness. And the best way, and you can go research this. I'm gonna use that little Asian you came up here want to speak on so bad. You go Google how Asian men do business. And one of the things they always do is they take a man to a strip club to do business to see how easily he can be swayed by the women in the room. And that means that you're not a good businessman because you're more focused and easily swayed based on sex than focusing on the money. And in this conversation, when we're talking about black building, sir, you've already went off track. You already somewhere else. We couldn't trust you to handle the money because you'd be giving it up to somebody if they spread their legs for you,
Hold up,
no
quick
matter
question.
what color they
Quick
were.
question. So
So
I choose to use black businesses mostly. So
that's
you're
good. You support black, you love being black. That's all.
so no what I'm saying is I do that strategically
Mm-hmm.
because I understand that a Jewish dollar travels in the Jewish community a certain amount of time before it leaves, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So me, what I do, like I say, even if you're gonna see the way you're looking at sex and the way I look at sex are two different things. Two totally different things.
Sir, let me ask you this. What's more important, the woman that you build your foundation and generational wealth with, or who you can lay up with and have access to their body?
See, I'm looking at that differently because I'm not looking
And
to
there
a
you
woman.
go. That's why you're
I'm
not
I'm I'm
pro-black.
not looking to a woman to build my
Sir,
generational wealth.
okay.
I have that already.
Brother, you told him already.
Wait,
You told
what generational wealth do you have?
Acquiring property.
Acquiring, or you already have it?
I already have it. This house I stayed in, the
How
land's
did you
paid
get
for.
it?
Only thing I do is pay taxes.
How did
It's
you
How
get it?
did you get it?
from family. This is this is what I'm saying. All of when you say that, like I say, one reason I know I'm pro black.
hold on. Sir, Big Al, a key question.
Go,
You said, was it a black family member?
yes,
So you're saying that the black family member left you wealth and you're ready to give the wealth to whoever next.
first of all, anything that I have is left to my son. So that's no matter who I get married to or have other kids with. My first son, that's my first heir. That's the first person I owe something to. So
So what I'm asking you is, if your son decides to marry a YT woman and he passes, God forbid, on that woman, she inherits your land. Now it's YT family land.
not necessarily.
Yeah,
Because you can put your property in a trust. It's not necessarily going to go into. I mean, I already know my son probably is not
think
going to date a
think
white
about what
person, but
D said though. Like if going with that scenario, if your son were to partner with someone who is YT, and God forbid something happened to him, and like who else would the property go to?
I mean, see
The
one thing.
IRS and Uncle Sam. Because that's that like you like I understand a lot of us talk about real estate in America like it's going to save us as a people. But if your son don't pay the taxes, your generational wealth is going to him to Uncle Sam.
Man, that go with anybody though. I mean,
Well,
everybody got.
not just anybody, because in Africa, for example, if you own land, you own that land for generations, forever. It's
Yeah,
your land. You have a
yeah.
right to it.
There's a
You have a
lot of
claim to it.
there's a lot of
But
different countries
you
that can happen. You're right. You're right.
Yes. So that being the case, building generational wealth in a land where your tax money is basically money is used to colonize other places,
Places in the
and
world.
you use to fund the prison industrial complex that all these things affect our people. Like this is being used to oppress our people. So to say that your generational wealth, it has to be something in America where it will help fund your demise, is always going to be problematic. It is a good way to quell the effects of systemic disenfranchisement. I'm not going to say it's wrong to do. We can, on a personal level, quell some of the effects by being more accountable and weaponizing certain systems to our betterment in survival. But I wouldn't call that generational wealth unless you
Very,
unless you
very
own
good
land in
response.
Africa.
Very good response, brother.
Okay,
Very good.
okay. I'm gonna tell you how one reason I know I'm building. See, one thing I've studied laws and codes and everything that come because once you're in a system, unless I'm planning in which at some day I may leave America, but I'm just going on where I'm at right now in the next 5 years. So one thing I learned, and I sit back and study and I watch people, and this is not even to get political, but when I seen Donald Trump bury his ex-wife on his old golf course, it made me scratch my head. I'm like, first of all, why would the kids even let that? Second of all, why would he do? Then I did some research.
Right off
The government
the
can never take
pretext
that
on
golf course from him once he buries someone on there.
it. Yeah, we know
And
that.
I
and
kind of agree. I ain't mean to cut nobody off or nothing, but thank y'all for letting me in the live. First of all, I respect everybody in here and everybody responds, but the problem, well, I don't call it a
Ronnie,
problem, but
Before you start talking, you gotta give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
oh, okay. Well, I'm 48 and I'm Seminole.
That's not a race, but it is an ethnicity. What is your race?
Well, I don't consider myself quote unquote black. My family has a name to their tribe, so I'm a
Okay, well,
tribal
that's
member.
a tribe is an ethnicity. There are tribes in Africa.
All right.
There are tribes in America,
Yeah,
and
and I
all
hope
of those
everybody
people
knows
that are
that.
in those tribes have a race.
Well, I don't like the fact that I have to agree with someone calling me something that my family and my bloodline never said that we ever called each other. So, my
Okay,
father is
so are
a
you an African?
Seminole. No, I'm not. I'm not from Africa. I'm from here.
You don't have to be from
So,
Africa to be an African.
okay, well, let's just say, I guess the best term, the most simple term to say it is that I'm an Aboriginal American, if
No, you're
if
not.
that's okay.
That's a horrible colonizer term. You just said you didn't
Well,
want to use colonizer terms, and then you just turned around and used a disgusting colonizer term, to be honest.
actually, you're right. You're right, but I thought might be more understandable without an
Well,
argument with a lot of people. You know what I
if
mean?
you're going to use that, why not just use African? I'm confused.
Because I'm not African.
I mean,
I'm not
and
from Africa. My people ain't never been from
Mr. Vaughn,
Africa.
yes they are. If you're a Seminole, then if you're a Seminole, and when I ask you what your race is, you have to say not black. You're an African.
Okay, well, if you understand the Seminole tribes, right? It was a mixture of different tribes, and some of them were
Wasn't a mixture of different
like
tribes. It was a
from.
mixture
Well,
of
some
different.
of them were
It was
from
a mixture
Africa.
of
Yeah.
different ethnicities, but it was also the same Africans that were taken from Africa, joining
Hmm.
in to create that it wasn't a natural tribe. It wasn't a tribe that existed pre-colonization. So Seminole
All
is
right. Well, I can
also
tell you.
from the word cimarron,
Mhm.
which is a Spanish word that the Spanish people that originally colonized Florida gave those people. So I mean, at the end of the day, even Seminole is a colonizer identity. It's
Well,
an
I can agree
identity
with
that's
you
a
with that.
product of
I can agree with
colonization.
you with that. That's what they call them. That's what they call them. But my particular family through my father was Blackfoot, and then my mother
They
was
was they was
Cherokee.
they was Blackfoot behind and everything else that
Yeah.
went to a Seminole reservation so that they could be enlisted in the Freedmen's Bureau so they could be free and not treated as property anymore. But they was black Africans. And there was Africans for much longer than America had existed, and they wouldn't be Seminole if they weren't enslaved and brought here from Africa. So once again, African just means that you have a common history and culture going back thousands of years with those that are the descendants of African ancestry.
Well,
So
there was a
that
lot of
being the
there was
case,
they called it Seminole like the one person just mentioned. There was it was involved into the Gullah Wars. The Seminoles were part of the Gullah Wars, and it was a
the Gullah
conglomerate
people are
of
African.
different tribes
The
and
Gullah
different
people are African.
runaway slaves. Like they said, it was runaway slaves
or
involved into it too. So we mixed and mingled a little bit, but
Ain't no
what I
such
was
thing as a
told
mixed
in my
African. If you
family, I
got
can't
African
knock what I
DNA,
was
you
told.
African.
You know what I'm saying? I can't knock what I was told. My father's side is Blackfoot. My mama's side is part of the five civilized tribes of Cherokee. I mean, that's just the way I was
The
brought up.
five civilized
Um,
tribes
that's
enslaved
it.
black people. So you're going to claim that now.
Well,
You're going to claim
it
another
happened.
enslaver.
I wasn't there, brother. I wasn't there. I was born in '75. I'm from.
All right. Hey, thank y'all for the Panther pause. I'm not sure if that was actually five. Y'all got to stop playing with me because some of y'all come up here every day and y'all know damn well if that was five or not. And sometimes y'all be saying that's five because you want him to go. I know D said three, but I'm not sure if she missed it because a lot of people said that was five.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
was fine.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Cool. All right. So yeah, I don't know. Some people saying it was three. Some saying it wasn't five. I don't know what it was. Y'all, cause some of y'all come in here every day, so I'm trusting y'all. Don't play with me if it wasn't five. I don't want to be unfair to somebody. But that's why I asked the age, race, pronouns question Because it just lets us know right off the rip where your self-hatred comes from. Like, you know?
I have a
Anyway.
question.
Yeah.
Because I'm new to this. I'm not. What is this pronoun thing? Because I don't abide by that. Whatever. I don't know who came
Yeah,
up
how,
with it.
how you don't know what it is, but you know you don't abide by it?
I mean, I know what it is. I mean, I know it's what it, or you, he, she. I'm like, I don't even partake in the alphabet.
Yes, you
That's not
do.
a
You're
part of.
saying I right now. It has nothing to do with the alphabet. I is you, me, he, she, they. You say it every day.
I
And if
mean,
someone's asking you how to respectfully identify you, so I don't call you a woman because I can't tell what your picture is. So you want to be called a man or a he, then I can say, okay, well, he just said that's a problem. The issue is that in these conversations, y'all want to be offended by things that shouldn't even offend you because you say that every day. When you go write down on your paper, when the doctor asks you what you are, you'll say a male or a female, he, she, or that. You literally
correct.
identify yourself every day. So this isn't an LGBTQIA new thing. It's simply someone making sure they're respecting you and how you want to be addressed.
Okay, okay. Now here's my thing. Now this is none to nobody. Now, if I can look at you and tell is like, I mean, I can look at a woman and tell a woman. I can look at a man and pretty much tell it's a man.
That's dangerous. You can't always tell. I'm from the East Coast. I seen the Pride Parade. You can't always tell. You gotta be careful, man, with that
But
mindset. I mean, you out
I
here
stayed
getting,
in Atlanta for
hey, you
10
might be out
years.
here getting turned
I can
out, bro. I don't know. You
if you
just saying you the
6'5"
I
just
am
like
and
a woman,
tell.
I can
That's
pretty much
crazy.
know what you is.
Well,
That's
Well,
to the
crazy.
good.
I'm a
speaking of
little bit
that,
more
I
cautious
think
than that.
wait, brother, how many paws was that? How many paws was that? Damn, how many paws was that?
Oh man.
Alicia, how many paws was
Leisha,
that?
Leisha,
I'm gonna say
Leisha need
this,
to be
even with that,
counting. Okay, Leisha said that was
it was
3.
3. When we're talking about this, there are people that might be femme presenting or male presenting that they're non-binary, which means they don't necessarily identify as a he or a she. They are a they. So there are respectable boundaries, and I think
He
that's the
gonna say
problem.
he
A lot of
don't
people
care
they
about
want
that, D.
right, but he wants respect though. He
No,
wants to be respected.
I'm not saying I don't respect it. I'm just saying you can't force me to. If I see something, if I can look at you and tell something, you're
Sir,
not going to force me to.
You can't
and
always tell.
assuming,
I could look
yeah,
at you and think you a woman, and then or I think you prefer she. You know what? If I just say, you know what, based on my vision, I'm POP holding it down. I'm legally blind. I can't see your profile picture. I'm gonna just call you a she. You would get mad, wouldn't you?
yeah.
Nah, I just would. No, I wouldn't. I was just
See,
correcting
now,
you.
Listen,
now you're being disingenuous.
Girl, you be
Girl,
right.
you
saying
need
a
to
lot,
stop it.
child.
Hold up,
Girl,
hold up.
But
My
you,
son,
but you
hold
know,
up. My
you
You're
know
son
gonna
what
right
be
I,
she
there.
for the rest of this live now. I hope you know
you,
that.
you know what I,
Hold up,
you know what I
hold up. Let me say
realized
this. Let me
yesterday
say this.
is that they're equating the pronouns to sexuality, which makes no sense. Like, there's a difference between someone asking you how to refer to you and like having the expectation for you to go around and say my pronouns are this. Nobody is asking you to put on your profile that I'm he, she, or whatever it is. They are literally just asking how to refer to you in this space because they don't know. And so if you're saying you're a man and you want to be referred to as he, then you need to say that.
Hey
Period.
man,
Why is
I'll
that
never
hard?
understand straight men's aversion to just saying he. I call me a he. I don't know
But
why
then
that's
they'll
so
be
problem.
mad when you
Y'all
call
are
them something
so
else.
fragile. Y'all don't know why you're straight. Let's talk about it. Brothers, a lot of y'all don't know why you're straight. Y'all are just straight because you think that's the default programming. Y'all are straight and never thought about why you're straight. And that is why you're so fragile in your masculinity because you don't know, you don't have an integrity, you don't have a barrier, you don't understand the definition of who you are as a man. So when someone asks you something or asks you to identify yourself, you get all shook and scared on shaky ground because you don't know why you're straight. You just literally doing what you've been told. That's the problem. You have not done the self work. When you do the self work, I'm a straight man. I have no problem calling myself he, him, or asking people to address me as such because I have done the work. I know who I am. I know what I want to be referred to as. It's that simple. Y'all making it way too complicated, and that's just weird. All right. I'm sorry if I'm yelling, but I don't got my microphone. I always yell when I got my
You
mic.
good?
When I don't got
It needed to be said the way you said it.
You feel me? It's weird. Like, so do some self-work, learn about why you're straight. I'm gonna start asking brothers that. Why are you straight? They don't even know. They don't even know. Why don't you I
Sorry.
mean, go ahead, D.
I just want to ask Tisha to kick that girl. Anybody got time for her today? That Angelica weirdo.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
In the chat popping it. Like I don't understand how y'all saying pronouns are a bunch of nonsense when you use them every day.
Is she a
If
thin
English is
Lipian?
your first language, you've been using pronouns since you've been able to talk. What are you talking about?
Angelica is a thin Lipian with MAGA in her profile. You use pronouns. I gave him more grace than I'll ever give somebody whose lips look like this. You know, somebody who can't see their lips with their mouth is closed. I'm sorry, y'all. This is y'all's English. This is y'all's language. So we definitely gonna hold you to the pronouns if you come up here. I'm letting you know that right now. The African and Pan-African brothers and sisters, some of us, you know, we don't really rock with their identity that divides us. You know, in Africa, our tradition, everybody was they them. Everybody was. Everybody was just part of the tribe. That was it. We didn't have pronouns in our culture until we were brought here and taught to speak English. So I'm definitely holding y'all to y'all colonizer language. I'm not doing that with y'all at all.
Brief intermission because
Hi,
I'm pulling
brother.
the numbers.
Hi.
So, hold on a
Hi.
second. Hold on a second. Please mute for 1 second, please. I just want to make a brief intermission. Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Brother Legends Live. If you don't tap the screen within the next 5 minutes, so we're going to be at 4:15, we're going to go ahead and put it on sub.
Oh, what happened? Go ahead,
What
sister.
D?
D, come back.
Maybe she got a call.
Maybe.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I was here the whole time talking. Damn. You guys, if we can't get to 50K in the next 5 minutes, we will be going sub only. Understand that sub only means that you are locked out of the chat. You cannot put your info or feelings in. So if you cannot tap that screen and get us to 50K in the next, 416, we'll be going to sub only.
Thank you, D. Appreciate you. Yes, everybody, please tap like. Tap like as you listen along. Detroit, appreciate you. Amen. Straight brothers, straight men, cis hetero, whatever you want to call yourself. Straight men that like women. Know why you are straight. And then once you have that knowledge of self, nothing will shake you. Nothing will shake you. And anything somebody asks you ain't gonna trigger you, have a second guessing definitions of who you are. It ain't gonna be that big a deal no more. Just know what you like, know who you are, know what's up. That's it. That's all it takes. Let's go to the next guest. Tia, what's going on, sister?
Can you tap in the box or not? I keep hearing mixed.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Our Abuelo, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Abuelo, African race, age 24. I just wanted to just speak on like the way you were saying, like I speak a native Swahili language, which is a native African language that's spoken in many parts of Africa, from Congo to Tanzania to Kenya to even Zambia. Like millions people speak, and if you look into that language, we have like when we want to refer to someone, we say yeah, which is they. So this concept of pronoun is not something that is foreign to us. We refer to ourselves as they, so usually when I speak, it is really hard even someone to know if I'm talking about a man or a woman. It was they. And some people get breast when we talk about what's your pronoun, as if this is something that's foreign to us, but it's not. If you have a strong foundation of knowing who you are, then there will be no uncomfortability around that. That's what I want to say.
That's right. See, she just corroborated what I said. And in the motherland, the culture that we come from before slavery, they, them, everybody is a they. So there was no need to specify your gender in how you spoke to someone until colonization, which means, and I might get some pushback for saying this, but which means that gender as a construct itself is divisive within our community. Well, I know we ain't that far into the future yet, but just the construct of gender itself is divisive. And so that's why when we get to the LGBT and all these other identities that correspond or correlate to gender and all that other stuff, and now we've made flags and all other identities to divide ourselves even further within those gender constructs, it all becomes very divisive. Because there was a time when we had the greatest civilizations on earth that didn't have to use this. So I'm just saying, but but we are speaking what they call the King's English, the colonizers' English, and as we are doing that, I understand we need to have these conversations to be able to communicate effectively. So that's why I'm going to ask. Appreciate you, Aruelo, for giving that knowledge to us. Arnold, I think it's Arnold. Could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please? Arnold, you here? Arnold?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
All right, talk to us. What's your age, race, and pronouns?
Yeah, I'm 20. Race, I'm mixed. Pronouns, I don't care about pronouns. That's straight bullshit. So, whatever you call me.
All right, so you didn't answer my last two questions. Mixed is not a race, and pronouns.
Oh, race. Okay. Race is. You mean like American term for race or worldwide?
I'll give you some terms for race. Right? Black,
right.
White, indigenous, Asian.
Black is not a race. Like it's race in America. It's not a real race. If you're speaking about like black, white also not a race.
All right, Arnold, you're a little out of your depth here. Are you stupid or you done?
Yeah, I mean like white is not a race and black is not a race. I mean, what is the term for race?
Two more.
Oh boy, guys, we got Gandhi himself up here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Europe. I'm just trying to figure out because black is a skin color.
Where in Europe?
Black is not a skin color.
Where in Europe?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what is the race.
Why is that a hard question? Where in Europe?
I said one more. Then is one more left. They said she sent 4.
Oh, word? I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, definitely counting. One more.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out what is the race because black and white is not really a race. If you're talking about race, it's like.
All right, Arnold, even if what you're saying is true, why the hell are you up here in a conversation about race?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is the race.
No, you're not. You could have figured out from the comments or on Google. Yeah. So why are you up here?
No, because.
Bye-bye. Hey, man, keep y'all bum asses down there, man. Appreciate you, SB. Thank you for the Panther pause. To everybody. I think it was just SB that was sending them, man.
No,
shout out to SB.
Me, myself, and I.
Oh, me, myself, and I.
SB, y'all don't tell them to quit coming up here. Keep coming up here. That's stacking you up. No, keep coming up here. Y'all ain't even getting to the questions.
That's a damn shame. If you don't have the intelligence necessary to have this conversation, please don't come up here. Please don't come up here. Like I'm not gonna let you derail the whole conversation. We live in a world where race exists. We live in a world where there's people that call themselves white. You know that. I know you know that. Please stop playing with me. Please, stop playing with me. I know you know that.
And he was phenotypically black. I went on his page.
I know. You already know he was black. Duh. I mean, we the only ones that talk that foolishness.
Black in Europe at that.
He know damn well.
You mean she? She knew well. He
Oh,
didn't,
oh, right.
he,
She knew
she
well.
didn't
Yeah.
care about her pronouns.
Right. She did not care. All right. And y'all don't even know when you answer, I don't care about pronouns. It just tells us that I'm not sure it's a proper term, androgynous. That you're someone that can remain ambiguous in gender. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Someone can correct me, but you know what I'm saying? If you're saying that you don't care about pronouns, that just tells me that
Sexually fluid or just
yeah,
fluid.
you know what I'm saying? Right, yeah. Non-conforming. You know what I'm saying? So okay. Wayne E, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hey, how's it going, man? All right, so my age is 31. My race is Caucasian white, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Thank you. Talk to us.
All right, so I am in an interracial relationship with a black woman. Eh.
You never want to do that in a room full of black people, but continue.
I know, man. I've been to family reunions. I get
I
it.
know. Then why are you tokenizing?
All right, let's be for real. So, like, as a white man, black woman interracial relationship, I've seen that it's held at like a more controversial relationship in the black community than black man, white female. What are your
That is
thoughts on
cap.
that?
That is big cap. That's big cap.
Oh, don't
That's big
lie,
cap.
man.
No, that's cap. That's really cap. That's
Oh,
really cap. Look, all you have to do right now, everybody, right now, all you have to do is look at what's going on with Jonathan Majors. Oh, I don't have him up here today. But look at what's going on with Jonathan Majors and go on Instagram right now and look at what the Shade Room comments are saying about Lupita. Go right
look
now.
at
Right
Clarence
now. Take some
Thomas.
time. Go on Instagram. Look at them comments. A lot of people are supporting this. And I'm not saying most people are in our community. A lot of us are shocked. But at the same time, I'm going to just say that when one in society, one is vilified more than the other. Within the community, one might be more accepted. I don't really know about that, but in society, the power structure and those that are the most powerful within the power structure have done a lot to unalive black men for even getting near a white T woman for hundreds of years in this country's history. Name me one white T man that has been unalived for going near a sister.
Okay, yeah. So that's not my argument, and I apologize if
Okay.
it came off that way. Because, like, yeah, I'm talking about in the black community alone.
Guess what? Guess what?
Hello?
We don't like raisins in our potato salad.
Pardon me?
Bye.
Hey man, I'm not seeing all of the Panther balls. I don't know why it's not showing me. So Leisha gotta kick people, man. Shout out to FB, man. That was getting annoying. But I would still say within our community, a lot. I've been hosting this interracial live for quite a while, and I'll be honest. Everyone that comes up that does make the distinction between the brother with the sister or the sister with the brother with the frosted female or the sister with the marshmallow man, whenever they make that distinction, a lot of people will say it's more problematic when the brother goes with the frosted female. I've seen that a lot. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says that as well. It literally is worse because it happens more. It's doing more damage within our community. And another reason why is because culture goes through women. So culture is passed down through women. So usually, even when Lupita, if she were to have some type of, a child or anything with this man, most likely the child's still going to grow up with knowledge of who they are, knowledge of, a knowledge of self of being black. So that's it tends to be less problematic. It tends to get less pushback for that reason. However, come on, man. And even in my own, I don't even want to go there. But anyway, all right. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna just say I've seen it in my personal life. I've seen it where a sister bring home a white T man and the family will celebrate it like they just won the lottery. And the first thing the mother asks is, when are y'all getting married? And I've seen it where she brings home a brother and the mother treats him like he's a goddamn criminal when he doing better than the white tea man was. I've seen that.
Oh, they be see the broke YT.
Yeah. Right. All right. So let's go to the next guest. Appreciate y'all again for the Panther Pause. We almost at 50K. Keep tapping like Thierry Spring. Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Uh, age is 22. I'm black, and I'm he, him for pronouns.
All right.
So, what I'm discussing is where you say our interracial relationship harmful to black unity and progression and progressives. I don't see it being harmful. I see it being more of a cultural insight in a sense. So like different people now start experiencing different cultures and start bringing back to them to their own people, and they start realizing the way they think about somebody else is a lot different from how it actually is, and how people perceive people naturally start changing because of that. But when you have people just constantly staying within their culture, as much as it create a strong love for it, but it also leads to a divide from other people who don't understand what's happening. So I see it a lot more better for progression for black people in a sense, because a lot more people start understanding what the culture of black people and why they do these type of things, and like, yeah, so that makes sense, instead of being like ignorant to the fact and just don't understand what's actually happening. So I see it a lot more better for their progression.
So what progression has it done? I think we're into what is it, Loving versus Virginia? So what progression has it done for black community?
Pardon me?
What progression has Loving versus Virginia, that's when a YT man wanted to marry a black woman, which it made it legalized for black people to marry YT people. So what has it done to progress black people or black community so far? It's been 50 years out.
Is this well, the thing that you just spoke about, is this like a recent thing?
Oh, wow.
1957. Wait, was it 57? No, 67. 67. My bad. 1967. That's when the law was passed to make interracial marriage legal, because a thin-lipped man wanted to get with a sister, and he called on his other thin-lipped male counterparts to pass this law, and it went through. So what we're saying is, how has that been beneficial to black unity or progress?
So I presume this is in the States. So the way I can interpret that, so this man fell in love with this black female and wanted to marry her, correct? That's what you're trying to say. And then because of that, he saw this female as more than just whatever they usually see black people in back those days, and realized she's a human being. She could be technically the mother to my children, and see much more into her, and that's why he.
All right, hold on, Terry Spring. You're adding a lot of sauce to it that he didn't even say. So I think you're humanizing her and trying to do this whole thing where he saw her as human and all that other stuff. Meanwhile, slave masters had been doing the same thing he'd been doing to this black woman for hundreds of years before that. So I don't see how wanting to marry someone means that you see them as human. He never said that. So I mean, yeah, like, why are you going in that direction? We're asking how after, I think how long has it been since 1967, y'all? Has it been, let's see, the 70s? So it's been like 50 something years. In the past 50 something years, how has interracial relationships been beneficial to black unity or progress?
How has it been beneficial? Again, so a lot more people start seeing black people in a different light, because people start mingling. That's the word. People start mingling a lot more into different culture, and then different cultures start to.
And how has that helped us?
It helped a lot.
With what?
Remember what? You guys start get treated slightly more better, and as the years go on, they're a lot better. Compared
We get treated better because of interracial relationships.
Because it helps. It helped. It
How?
wasn't like, oh yeah, because of
qualify that though. Like, don't just say it helps. Tell me how.
Remember, I tell you how. As I said, because different cultures start to intermingle. Different cultures start to mingle, which cause other people to see different perspective of things. To lead to other people starting like, oh yeah, this is the way we perceive them is completely incorrect, and they start to change their aspects slowly over time. That's how it
All right,
helped.
and what changed?
Pardon me?
And what
What has
changed?
changed? You got, we've been treated a lot better compared to our 1950 counterparts.
How? Like, in what way?
Remember, in what we are, you guys can vote, you guys can drink from the same fountain, you can go to the
We
same
can't.
school.
It's not voting. Interracial relationships had nothing to do with voting.
Hey, it helped.
No, it
helped
didn't,
over time.
because with the Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965 before interracial relationships. So what are you talking about?
First off, you're talking about your interrelationship act you're talking about was in one state. Was it in every single state all over America?
What?
So you're saying that they passed a law for interracial marriage to be legal in 1956, you said, or 1957?
1967.
1967.
And Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965.
Yeah.
Before that.
So let me ask you a question. Was that law for, across the whole U.S. or was it just for one state?
It was for the whole United States. The Voting Rights Act.
No, the interracial one I'm talking about.
Yes, the whole United States.
This makes no sense in general.
No, you make no sense because you don't know what you're talking about, but you're trying to talk like you're like you know what you're talking about. That's annoying. Like, just say you don't know what you're talking about. It's okay. You don't have to be up here and be smart. You could just not know what you're talking about.
No, so this is not a debate. As you said, this is not a debate. This is a discussion.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say bullshit.
No.
Where are you from?
Oh, let me ask a question. You're trying.
Where are you from?
Pardon me?
Where are you from?
Jamaica, but I live in the UK now.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
People to you. Okay, say this to you. So you don't even know what laws gave access for you to even be dating outside your race right now, right? 2 more pause. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, I'm lost to what you're about now.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it slow because I like to meet people where they at. So let me drop down to kindergarten. Do you understand that there were laws that gave you access to date a YT woman?
No clue.
No? Yes?
Well,
Sir?
no, I said no clue. I didn't know. Hold up.
You did not know.
That's the one person. The person said, "Oh, Jesus, he's not Jamaican." I am Jamaican, so carry on.
Okay, that's good. I love that for you. That means you got a little seasoning.
I knew you were.
And
I know you don't know your own history because that's the reason why you speaking like you speaking.
Let's calm down there. Let's calm down. Yeah, carry on.
I don't know. I'm not calm.
Pardon me?
I said, what about me sounds like I'm not calm?
No, talk about the other person below. They said, I don't know my whole history. Like,
I said that. You don't. Hello?
You going. Thank y'all for the Panther Pause. Shout out to SB and me, myself, and I. That was just a shame. That was man, we're getting some yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm embarrassed. I'm secondhand embarrassed. But I'm not though, because the Jamaican brothers and sisters that I've had on this platform have been B1. So yeah, so shout out to the brothers and sisters, them from Jamaica. But yeah. I'm bad with the patois, but I'll be trying to talk like y'all. I think Jamaican folks got the coolest the coolest English accent of the whole diaspora. Other than it's toe for toe, because I really like people, brothers and sisters from the continent with like that speak French and like learn English. They have this like, what are you doing? Like they have like this accent. Like, I don't know what you call that. I don't know. It's a way that they speak that is very I find it attractive. Like it's a nice accent. I like that too. But Jamaicans be sounding very wise. Like they sound wise, all of them. Like even if they just saying regular.
Go off. Melanated making me scream.
We've been over here teaching D in another room, but the easiest way is to hit the T's. I don't know why, like especially in the movies when the accents be trash, it's really terrible. But when you hit the T's, that's the easiest way.
I don't know what that means.
Bumble.
Like, so for example, like here in the United States, when non-Caribbean people say like, oh, I love like a beef patty, there's patty and then there's patty. If you say patty, it automatically sounds like, you know what I'm saying? So you
Okay.
say the T like a T instead of like a soft D.
I love
Okay.
tea.
Or like, and it's also like the syllables, like people like in the United States with English we say comfortable, in the Caribbean you say comfortable. In the United States, you say
That's
vegetable, or I don't even know how y'all say it. But in the
yeah.
Caribbean, we say vegetable. So
Yeah.
Veg-
it's
Okay.
the syllables and it's the some of the consonants.
Yeah. No, that's
Your
fire,
good
man.
beef pate. I'm gonna give you some good beef pate and your bumble clot and make sure all of the top dancers get the coons and the poons out there because
She
the
sound
bumble clot.
Trinidadian or something.
Now you be switching between like three accents. Like she be starting off good and
Fine.
then it slides somewhere else.
Lord of mercy. That's what Shaba be saying. Shaba ranks. All right. I'm gonna go to the next guest before I get in trouble with y'all. I think it's Udu Chan. Udu Tran, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hi, I'm 25. I'm Black African American. And wait, what was the other one?
Pronouns.
She, her, hers.
All right, talk to us.
Oh, hi. So I just had like a couple of, well, I just kind of popped in here and I just want to know like what your perspectives are on these topics and then I can give mine.
I'm always curious to know why people do that.
Mm-hmm.
How we going reverse? How about you go first?
Oh, okay. Are interracial relationships harmful? I don't know what you mean by harmful because the divorce rates for interracial couples are going down, and for black and black it's going up. And also domestic violence cases for black on black is 24% higher than interracial. I don't know if you mean like culturally. No, not the Paul. I'm just saying like I don't know. Oh my gosh. They don't want to hear it. Okay. All right, well, okay, well then I guess I'll go.
You don't have to go. Me myself and I doesn't kick people. She just gets everyone. She just shows that people are getting upset. But
Oh, okay.
basically coming up here to defend colonizers is not the way to go about this.
Well, you just asked the question and I was just saying like I don't know what
No, I
harmful.
know, but your questions, the way your answers were in defense of a certain narrative. So
Then wait, well, the narrative is just that. So I was just wondering like harmful what way?
nah, those stats were used and misused to paint a narrative. So
What
you can
narrative?
use a stat many different ways. That's why they have people that go to college to become
Mhm.
data analysts because anyone can look at data and kind of like use it however they want to use it.
Mhm.
So what you were trying to say, if I'm not mistaken, was that black people are more harmful to themselves than interracial relationships. Was that what you were trying to say?
I'm just trying to get a basis cuz of harmful, like of harm. I like if it's cultural differences, then yeah, like obviously there's
So
cultural
you're trying to
differences
say
there.
that intraracial mistreatment and harm is happening more than interracial, and that's why you're saying intraracial. So you're saying that black people shouldn't be together.
I didn't say
Um,
that. The
okay,
question the question was
because
is
I'm like I'm confused. What are you trying to say? What is the statistics leading you to?
the question you asked was interracial relationships harmful to black
I know what I
community?
asked. What are you
Yeah.
trying to say?
I'm saying that if we're talking about black unity, if we're talking about how domestic violence cases are going up in our community, that's not leading to unity.
So okay, can I go, brother?
Yeah, go ahead because she like I
So
just said earlier. I know I didn't misspeak. She's
right.
trying to say that black people do more harm to other black people than white people do the black people, and she's trying to use that as a way to defend interracial relationships in our community. And I think you'll go ahead and
Okay.
answer
So
that.
this is the dynamic that we're gonna look at. First of all, black people choose each other at an 80% rate. Firstly,
Hmm.
if you're doing the research, I hope you're not using femicide research, because femicide includes every dynamic that can unalive a black woman, from it being her family, the police, the hospital, encounters her lesbian partner, all the way into transgender black women. So I hope that's not the research you're using in that regard. When we talk about how we pair, even when black women date outside their race, they date out the least. Like, they date out less than any other group of women. So if 5 black women are dating outside their race and 3 of those relationships are successful, that number is going to look like, oh, look, these black women dating outside their race looks like a high amount because there's only 5 of them that are doing it. So when you're looking at research and studies, if we're saying the quantity that you're pulling from is so small that it can look positive because there's not enough to give you a negative result in any really way of a balanced result, then it's not even saying it's successful. It's saying that they're just working based on. But even in a lot of these relationships, when you talk to people, particularly black women that are dating interracially, they are literally there on so many different levels of negative things that are keeping them, that the relationship is based on a success that you can say either, yeah, I have a partner, not necessarily a partner that I'm able to be comfortable with or live with. So there's several different dynamics in this relationship that we talk about. But just know, black people choose each other at an 80% rate. Interracial dating, you're saying that it's going up or it's more helpful. I'm trying to understand how interracial dating. I'm sorry,
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's going to keep saying it's not more helpful, but when black people choose each other, there's more domestic violence. So you're not saying that, but you are saying that.
So
Like, you're implying it heavily.
let me use this dynamic. So when we
Okay.
talk, I'm going to give you a case that's very recent, and you can go look them up. You can go look up Rasheem Carter, and then you can go look up, I don't know the name of this other case, but 2 black men, police brutally SA'd them, beat them, and then one was pew-pewed in the face because one of them was dating a YT woman. So the proximity to a YT person can be extremely dangerous to your livelihood, because at the end of the day, if you truly understand not only the current history that is happening right now to black American people, but also the historical context, and we can go from Emmett Till and move forward, I want to understand how you're thinking that interracial dating is in any way, shape, or form better or helpful.
Well, I'm sorry. Can you go over the case? Who shot who? I'm not sure
There's,
what.
you can, I can't remember the name of the case exactly, but you can Google it. You can look up, search 5 YT officers raped 2 black men, and it'll come up. They were just recently
because
charged
he was dating a
because
YT woman.
one of the black men was dating a YT woman.
But how does that?
Because the proximity to YT people can be dangerous to your life.
That has nothing to do with the quality of the interracial.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I think you kind of like misinterpreted the question a bit, but also it's important to recognize that how impactful interracial relationships are or aren't to black unity or progress isn't just about the relationship itself, like the 2 people in the relationship. It's about how that dynamic impacts the community overall also.
That's
So,
number
like,
one. But and she's right. You did misinterpret the question. However, you coming up here saying black people are more dangerous to each other
it's also
than white people
problematic.
are to them just triggered the hell out of me. Like, that's why I
Yes.
was letting D have it, because it's really like just the most obtuse way to look at data. Like, that's like it's just ridiculous what you just said. Like, if that's the case, white on white crime happens way more than black on black crime. Do you know that? 69% of crime, according to the FBI crime statistics that you can look up, crime data on the internet, it says that 69% of crime is between white people. So that being the case,
Yeah, but I thought we were talking about
are white people choosing to be with white people? Is that
I'm misinterpreting the question.
No, but what you said was
No,
also
he's trying to address what you actually said.
Yeah, I'm
though.
trying to address what you
and
actually
we're
said.
talking about white on white crime now. I thought we
No,
were
but
talking
listen,
about interrelation
in terms of
relationships.
No, but even in relationships, it's the same thing. All crime and mistreatment happens within a proximity of who you're married to. So if black people choose to be with black people 80% of the time, who's going to abuse black people other than black people 80% of the time? Like that, like looking at a statistic and using that to qualify interracial relationships being harmful between black people is incorrect when you don't have a full look at the picture. So you're not looking at the whole picture. You're just looking at a small part. That is a statistic you should not have brought up in this conversation
I
in
get
the
what you're
first place.
saying about the whole number being bigger because black people choose more, like black people 80% of the time, so the whole number would be bigger. But I'm saying it's a little bit disproportionate. I know you're saying it's more
Why is
black
it
people.
disproportionate? According to the National Association Against Domestic Violence, the reason it is disproportionate is because of disenfranchisement, multi-generational trauma, and also a lack of generational wealth in our homes. People that are disenfranchised and marginalized within a society are going to have more instances of domestic violence. That is a fact. That is the
Okay,
reason why. It is not because they're black. And we're talking about black people, and you bringing that up is a bad faith argument. That is
so
very in
legend.
poor taste for you
So
to
let
bring that up. You
so
have
let
a lot to learn on that.
And Carl,
That's very poor taste, and that's why I'm getting like I
yeah,
cannot believe
kind
a
of
Cabo,
hot
black
right
woman is
now.
on my
hold
live
on,
saying this. Like,
hold
yeah,
on.
you might need to
Let's
cam up
let's
because you
let's let's,
sound like you got thin lips. I don't know what's going on.
Wow, that's
let's
awesome.
hold on,
No,
calm down,
I don't know what you mean.
ma'am, stop.
Brother, calm down. Hold on. This is the thing. So go look up Citibank research from
Hmm.
2020, and it shows that America lost trillions based on racism.
Gotcha.
So when you look that research up, it's going to talk about not only were black people shut out when it came to buying homes, but
Hmm.
also how they affected black men's employment. If you look in the
Yeah,
research of 2023, black men are the most unemployed. Do you think that is by design or do you think that
design.
just happened? Exactly. So if you're telling me that black men or and black family is more abusive, what leads to domestic violence? What is one of the leading factors?
I don't really know what
It's
lead.
money. It's money and
Okay.
financial hardships. It creates an issue within the household in any relationship in any community. But if you're telling me by design, they're making sure that black men cannot take care of their families and creating a financial hardship, then you don't think there'll be domestic issues in that regard? Who is pulling the strings? And now, since you're looking at black men with a negative connotation, isn't it easier for you to go to the other side and think that you're getting something better and find out you're walking into a whole inherent racist? I don't
Um.
understand how interracial dating can be progressive for black people when they've had well over 60 years to progress something for black people, and black
Hmm.
people are still standing in the same position.
I want to add, 'cause I want to make sure that she understands the implications of what she said and why brother had an issue with it. The way you use the statistics implies that the only right decision for black people to make is to not choose each other.
The only reason why I use the statistic because you guys use the word harmful in the question, and I'm wondering what
It
harm.
does stop doing that. We're going based off what you said, not what you misunderstood. We understand that you misunderstood, but what you said should have never been said by a black woman or a black man. What you said. Now, when we want to talk about that type of harm, intimate partner violence and domestic violence, we have talked about that on this live. But how you use that and weaponize it in a discussion about interracial relationships was wrong. Go ahead,
Okay,
Tia.
I
And
apologize.
you're stuck. You, instead of finishing the question, you stopped at harmful and didn't finish out to black unity and progress. So again,
Well,
if we're just talking about what you said, I just want to make sure that you understand the implications of how you weaponize those statistics, because it means that the only way that you or I or D or Black Swan or anybody makes a healthy choice in a partner
hmm
in the face of those numbers is by not choosing a black man. And we're trying to get you to see how dangerous and harmful and anti-black that is.
okay.
Do you understand that?
I understand what everybody's saying. I understand. I did not make to anybody hot with my. I did ask you guys like what you guys were this is why I wanted clarification on the question, right? Because when I look at harmful at Black unity, I'm looking at love, trust, understanding, community, all that stuff. And when I see,
And you can find all of that within the
and
Black
I'm
community,
still
even with
talking.
those statistics. You can find all of that within the Black community. Like, I hear you. I
Yeah.
understand you misunderstood. But what you said shouldn't have been said, even if we was having that conversation.
And if it's
That's what I'm trying to
misunderstood, then
say.
maybe we could have had a conversation and I could have clarified and I could apologize a bit earlier.
Even,
But now we're just screaming at each other and it's
even if you said what you were saying in a conversation about what you thought it was about, that was not the thing to say. That was why.
Brother, I apologize, honestly.
Yeah.
That was not my intention.
Lisa, you got the
Do
power.
you understand why it was harmful though? Like,
yes, ma'am.
I feel like that's more important than the apology. And
yes, ma'am. I really do. I really do. That's why I
Okay.
wanted clarification on the question. So I apologize. That was not my intention.
So we're talking about Black unity and progress. We're trying to make a life where Black people can love each other and come together and not have these gender wars. We already do lives, and we're going to change the topic soon, where we hold Black men accountable for how they treat Black women. We also understand that Black women can. We also understand that Black men cannot talk about their plight without mentioning the need to dismantle patriarchy within our own group. We understand that when we are talking about things that are about Black people and how we involve people outside of our race, outside of our communities, it is always weird when someone comes up with I'm gonna hold Black people accountable for problems that were created by white people. That is always it's never a good place to go. It's never a good place to go. We can talk about how we treat each other, but we also got to look at the reason why we treat each other the way we do. Because we didn't treat each other like this until slavery happened. We didn't treat each other like, and see, that's the thing. A lot of us don't know our history. If we look back and look at Africa pre-colonization, we didn't treat each other like this. So now that we are in these scenarios, it is good for us to talk about how we treat each other. However, at the end of the day, we need to focus on what Stokely Carmichael calls the major enemy. Stokely Carmichael is the brother who the Voting Rights Act is actually named after, and one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party. But now back to the actual question: are interracial relationships harmful to Black unity and progress? If you're going to say no, then give us ways in which it has been beneficial to Black unity or progress.
Okay. So I feel like it has been beneficial to Black unity and progress. And I say that only because, let's see. I only say that because if we're really looking at how we're like progressing in society and how I don't know if you guys agree with assimilation or not, or whatever, or if you agree with the fact that, well, I guess, okay. Okay. Here's the truth. I'm a little hesitant to say anything in this group because I don't really feel like everything as I'm gonna say is gonna be received pretty well.
Does your mother eat scones and pumpkin spice lattes?
No, but she dates a black. Yeah, she dates a Black man.
So she's wealthy.
Is your mother Black?
I am Black.
No,
is your mother Black?
No, my mom is Black. My mom dates a Black man. She's married to a Black man.
This was weird. The way you made the point suggested that your mother wasn't Black, possibly.
No, I'm sorry. This is why I'm afraid to talk here because like I don't know.
Nobody's attacking you. We're just saying how you phrased it suggested that she might not be Black. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, she's.
But how you answer these questions suggests that you lack a lot of understanding of the Black community from a Black perspective.
I do have a great understanding of the Black community. I am a Black person.
No, I disagree.
We disagree with that I'm Black, or disagree that I have an understanding of Black community?
Yeah, you don't have an understanding because you can't.
Is your understanding?
Because what you came up here and said before, and you kept trying to scapegoat it with, I didn't understand the question. But like I said earlier, you should have said what you said in the first place. That should have never been said. Like, I don't care even if we were talking about that, that should have never been said. And now for you to sit up here and say that the answer to that question is yes, just shows me you don't have an understanding. Like, you're out of touch. You're like, you know, like, I don't know, like when, I don't know, what's that girl?
I
What's
grew up
that
in a white
girl?
community, actually. Sorry, I was answering a question in the audience. I didn't grow up in the white community.
All right, when I mute you, stay muted. What is that girl? Not Zoe Saldana. I forgot the name of the sister, man. But yeah, it's like when Zoe Saldana's trying to be pro-black. Like you're like Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone. You know what I'm saying? It's like yeah, yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like you're like you're a little disconnected from the community. You can't be connected with your culture, understand what's going on in the community, and answer the questions the way you do.
What makes your
Something don't add
understanding
up.
better than mine?
What?
What makes your understanding better than mine?
The fact that you would even ask that question tells me how you look at me as a black man. So you think I don't study? You think I don't study? You think I haven't read a book, right? You think I'm just coming up on TikTok spreading my opinion. And you
Legend, what
think
are you
that
saying?
I'm sorry?
Legend, what are you saying? Did I say that you can't read a book?
No, I'm asking why you would even ask me that question.
Because you're saying that my understanding is out of touch.
It
But you're
is.
saying that yours is. So why is yours is and mine's isn't?
Because I've read the ISIS papers, because I've read the African Origin and Civilizations by Sheikh Anta Diop, because I've read the Compensatory Counter-Racist Code by Dr. Neely Fuller, because I've read Dr. Amos Wilson's Blueprint for Black Power, because I've read Dr. Frank D. Wilderson's Afro-Pessimism, because I understand my people, I'm around my people, and I do the work for my people. Be1initiative.org is a nonprofit that I've created to help address some of the problems that I'm talking about. Some of these problems that you're saying don't exist,
I never said they didn't
I'm actually
exist,
helping solve.
Legend.
So
You're
it's
putting words in my
really
mouth now.
telling to me that you don't understand and would talk about something you don't understand and imply that I might not know any better than you, and I think that's really weird.
Okay, I want to do a clarification real quick. Hold on. So
Okay.
first of all, he's not yelling. His mic is out, so he's speaking louder so that it comes through clear. That's the first thing.
Please don't tone police black men.
No, they were doing that. They were doing that in chat. Secondly, how old are you again, Chan? Chan? Hello?
Hi,
How old are you again?
I'm 25.
Okay. So your understanding
know.
of your understanding of blackness is that either we are thriving with each other or we're not. I just want to
Yeah.
understand what your perception of it is. So
Yeah, like we're all up or we're all down.
No. I'm asking you, what is your perception of black community right now? Like
Oh,
black
that
relationship.
we are all conversating. We all are in agreement with each other. That we all love each other.
Are you
That
being
we all
sarcastic
have
with
an
me,
under.
Chan?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
That's what I'm saying. She out of touch. That's what I'm
Listen.
saying.
I'm not
She don't know what she's talking
because
about.
I can have love and respect for my brothers, but I don't have to date them.
Okay, if that's how you feel, let her feel that way. Let her feel that way. So you're saying that you date interracially. Is that what we're getting here?
I do, yeah, I do date interracial.
So do you intentionally date non-black men?
No, of course not. I date
So
whoever I
you
have that
date all
attraction
races
to.
of men?
Yeah, I've dated white men, Pakistani men. I've had a black boyfriend. I've also dated many different women too.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what about are interracial relationships harmful to black community? In the unity and progress, how you choosing to date outside your race? How does that in any way, shape, or form become an issue? Like,
I know there's a cultural disconnect between me and my white partner, and I know that could have some disconnect between me and my other black brothers and sisters. But I do have respect for people of my race.
People that the disconnect is that you're not entirely as human as they are, and
Well,
so
no.
you can date someone that has that disconnect.
I've
Yes,
never
it is.
said-
That's the only disconnect between black people and non-black people. So that's the disconnect, is that they don't have the same amount of empathy for us that we have for them. So that's the disconnect. So you're saying you're okay with that level of disconnect, and that's cool, but it's still problematic to black progress and unity.
I'm
Tia wants to speak to you.
Similar.
Tia? Tia's muted. Something going on with her.
Yeah, I hear her voice is going in there. I'm just trying to get an understanding because it's weird that you said, with the black person, you said he was your black boyfriend, but then the others were men. So
I don't really appreciate all this tone policing.
I'm
You
not
guys know
policing
what I
you,
mean.
love.
Like
What
you
are you
guys know what
talking
I
about?
mean. Like
We
you guys
didn't
know what I
tone
mean.
police you. Do you even know what that word means?
Yeah, because you guys are trying to nitpick words that I'm saying and trying
That's
to make
not
a
what
bigger
tone
meaning
policing
out of
is.
it.
Tone policing
Sorry,
means
tone policing is policing the way I'm saying the words. I
Yeah.
think you guys are nitpicking the words that I'm choosing and making them more ill-intentioned.
Because
we know
words
the
matter.
meaning.
Words
Maybe
matter.
you don't realize.
Can
I
you
didn't
hear
mean
me?
that. I didn't. Well, I didn't, ma'am. Well, I didn't
Yeah,
mean
I
Yes,
hear
we
you
hear
now.
you.
I hear you now,
ma'am.
Tia.
I didn't mean
Let
it.
her talk, D. Go ahead, Tia.
Oh, so I just wanted to say I feel like we kind of glossed over the question that she posed to brother, and I really wanted to make sure that we addressed that about like feeling like I forget exactly how you phrased it, like knowing more than you. I don't remember exactly how it was. I think the difference is that it seems like you, now that we know that you I guess like date out in addition to dating black men, that you're trying to defend your choice of dating a variety of men. That's what it feels like. But I want you to recognize that the things that brother is saying are rooted in, they're not his feelings. This is not like a personal opinion. These are things that have been well studied, well researched. There's a lot of time and education that's gone into that, and that is not me saying that you're not intelligent, that you don't read, but maybe your consciousness on the basis of scholarship, on the basis of this research, of this data, these facts, is not at that level. That is not him saying that you are not intelligent or any of that. It's just saying that there's a level of understanding of facts and scholarship and research that he's bringing to these conversations on a daily basis that your conversation is demonstrating that you do not have yet.
1,000 hours. Yeah, exactly. I could tell you haven't put in your 1,000 hours on learning about racism.
Because even with the question about the interracial relationships, your hesitation is giving me that you don't really know. Because when we're posed a question that we know firmly about, like especially when it's not rooted in your feelings and your opinion, it's about fact, you just respond. You don't have to delay unless you're trying to string it together or like frame it in a certain way for someone to understand. But the facts are the facts. Your hesitation to respond, I feel like is you trying to defend you dating out. If that's what you want to do it. But like, you don't need to defend that at the expense of the black community or black people. And that's what you're doing, even if you're not doing it intentionally.
Yeah, it's like we're trying to tell people don't do drugs, and you're like, I do drugs and I'm fine. And it's like, okay, if you want to do that, cool, go ahead. But according to the history of drug usage, it's dangerous and it's bad for your health. But if you want to do that, cool. Don't come on our platform and talk about when we're talking about the harmful effects of using drugs. Come up here and talk about how it's fine just because you chose to do it.
I'm sorry. I thought this was a discussion. Like
that was.
And
I feel like this entire time we've been doing nothing but discussing. Have we been playing basketball or something? Like what else have we been doing?
No, but you said don't come up on here and say it's this and that, but you're saying like this is supposed to be a discussion.
I ate Chinese food today. What did you eat?
Actually, today I had sushi.
Well, we pause.
That was also a discussion.
Yeah.
We just talked about food, didn't we?
We did, legend.
All right. So when I disagree with you, it's still a discussion.
Okay. So why do you think that what progresses like black unity when two people that are just black, just on the sole basis of being black,
and come
just
back
get together
and talk to me? The book that I'm going to give you is, to be honest, you sound like, since you articulate yourself very well, I'm going to say that you should probably start with Frank Wilderson. Start with Frank Wilderson's Afro-Pessimism. I feel like a doctor prescribing medicine because like you are lost. So A good starting point would be if you want to look at a lecture instead of reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, 2010. Just type that into YouTube. Francis Welsing, 2010.
You want me to
And
look up something on YouTube?
yeah. Look that up
Okay,
on YouTube. Or
that's
she also has
scholarly.
an interview called Black Man, White Woman. That speaks a lot to this conversation. Yeah, good.
Is that on YouTube too?
Brother,
Yeah, that
I'm
is
sorry,
on YouTube. Yeah.
brother.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so I was really trying to be intentional about calling her in, but like you giving this energy to brother, like for no, I don't understand what the hostility is for. That you not giving to the rest of us. And so like now, I was willing to give you the space and grace of you just one of them type of people who just like to date other, but now it's giving you hate black men.
Do.
I didn't want to say that. I felt
Cause
it early on.
you putting a lot of, and I was feeling it, but I was really trying to, maybe you just, taking it further than where it is. But like every time she come off her mic to address you, it's all this extra spice. Like for what?
Yeah, I already know. But self-hatred is part of it. But that's I appreciate you for bringing that out because I would have felt biased if I said it. I appreciate y'all. That was quite interesting. Shout out to everybody that's been tapping like this whole time. We've had quite a live today. It's been quite a live today. We've been unpacking all types of mayonnaise. Please continue to tap like. We're almost at 75. Let's get to 75K. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna keep going to the next guest. We gotta start going through the questions from top to bottom so that we can start giving out grades. Some people. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was the doctor that I mentioned earlier. She's a clinical psychologist and author of the ISIS Papers. Welsing is spelled Welsing is spelled WELSING. And the lecture was in 2010. If you want to watch that, that is basically her outlining her thesis in the ISIS Papers. And if you want to dive a little bit deeper into interracial relationships, I would encourage you to watch Dr. Welsing's interview where it's labeled Black Man, White Woman. That's the name of the interview, where it outlines, basically how race is still a power dynamic even within a relationship. So yeah. All right. I'm glad you found it, Jackie. I try to make all of our little discussions at least a little productive. But I appreciate you. All right. Let's go to the next guest. Alexis Ingram. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hi, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, great. I've never done this before. All right, Alexis Ingram. I am 32 years old, she, her, hers, and I am biracial. Black mom and white non-American father.
Didn't ask you what your parents were. What's your race?
Oh, my bad. I identify as Black.
All right. Go ahead, talk to us.
All right. So I'll hit all three questions and try not to be super verbose. Are interracial relationships harmful to Black unity and progress? I think so. And I think so specifically, obviously I can only speak through my own lens and my own experience, but I think specifically when you're talking about dating white folks who are American and live in America and grew up with the biases that are present in our country. And I speak on that because I've had a really unique experience being raised by my Black mother, but having a white parent that didn't grow up in America and obviously benefits from white supremacy and privilege, but like doesn't necessarily have the full context or all of the racial biases that are like implicit in like white folks that grew up in America and have lived here their whole lives, if that makes sense. Is preferring to date another race a fetish? I think so. I don't get down with that whole like, oh, I only date white people or I only date Latinas, blah, blah, blah. I do think that that is a form of fetishizing And can you be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse? This is something that I'm struggling with in my own life as someone who is pro-Black and has dated both Black men and non-Black men. I would like to believe in my soul that you can be pro-Black with a non-Black spouse, but I don't know. I would say there's still a little part of me deep in my soul, like a 2% part of me that feels like you can't be, but I do want to feel like a non-Black spouse. Like I feel like there are allies in this movement that are non-Black. So how do we, like in my own life, you mean? Or you mean like
No,
people?
I mean someone we would both, know. I mean, you said that they exist, so there must be so many of them. Who are the pro-Black allies?
I'm not saying there's so many of them, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the only people you and I would know would be like famous people.
Okay, who?
I don't know. I'm being real. I'm only talking about my own life and the people in my life that I consider allies.
So they're allies. So what have they done?
People in my own life. I mean, I've done a lot of advocacy work for Black folks, Black art in my own.
I didn't say you. I'm talking about what they have done.
I'm just explaining. People in my life, like friends, family that have either helped me with my own initiatives or have been out there, protesting with us or go, you know what I mean? Like little things.
Okay, that's anti-racism. That's not pro-Black.
Okay. Then yeah, I would like to, then I'm down to hear you speak a little bit more on that. Like, I guess I want to know how I can get these allies in my life who are doing anti-racist work to become pro-Black. How do we get non-Black folks
don't have
to become
any allies. Black people don't have any allies. And why are you going out of your way to recruit people to join something when this is their issue? Racism is a white people issue. So you going out of your way to get these people to join what?
No, I'm not going out of my way. I'm asking if it's possible.
Why are you looking for non-Black people?
Can I ask why you think you are pro-Black?
Why I think I am?
Yeah, like what makes you pro-Black?
What makes me pro-Black is, one, I believe in the advancement of Black people. I believe that we should have everything that other people have. I'm also kind of on this Marcus Garvey wave of trying to get back to where my people are from. But also that's just how I feel in my soul. I want nothing but for my Black brothers and sisters to be successful, to have everything, to have our own economic structure, to have our own money.
But you want to bring mayonnaise with you?
No, I don't necessarily want to bring mayonnaise with me. It is just a discussion that I wanted to hop on in here, because what about not white folks? What about all the other people of color? Do we think that they can't be pro-Black either? Like, I'm just curious about that too.
Have they been pro-Black? I'm not concerned about that. Have they done something for Black community? What have they done?
I know for me, I have some Afro-Latino people in my life that do.
That's Black.
Afro-Latino people are Black people.
But also other Latinos as well, like not Afro-Latinos and other indigenous people too.
All right, what have they done?
All the sort of stuff that I mentioned previously about in my own experience,
Anti-racist work is not pro-Black. I think that's where we can. All right, let me explain something. Hold on, y'all. Let me explain something. All right. So, because I feel like she's coming from.
Alexis, y'all mute up, please, respectfully. Thank you.
Yes, please, everyone.
Oh, wait, sorry, mute, you said?
Yes, please. Michelle, could you mute, please? Michelle at the top, please. All right, thank you. All right, so this is for the brothers and sisters down there. We're going to highlight the difference. I usually do it at least once live. Highlight the difference between anti-racism and pro-Black. Anti-racism is when you direct your efforts towards dismantling racism as a system of oppression, a caste system in which one race is superior and all others inferior. and black people being the butt, the people at the bottom of that caste system, white people being the most privileged people at the top. Dismantling how that social dynamic operates within American society, but worldwide, it is an issue, is anti-racist. That's great. When it comes to anti-racism, it is a white problem that affects black people, making us the allies. If I'm helping you with your problem, I'm your ally. This is me taking time out of my day to help you dismantle something that, according to the Wall Street Journal, racism has cost the American government $13 trillion. According to the Wall Street Journal, I'll say it again, it has cost $13 trillion because of America's racism. Wells Fargo, Navy Federal most recently, is being sued because they've turned down more than 50% of black home applicants. This costs the American economy money because people paying their mortgage helps America continue to thrive in its economy. So, anti-racism is a great thing, but it is us trying to heal the sickness, helping heal the sickness of other people. It's not something we can control. It's not something we can put an end to. That's something they have to do on their own. Now, when it comes to pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the black community. I'm gonna break that down for y'all. Prioritizing, meaning your number one goal and focus, one's actions and values. Cognitive dissonance is when you believe something, but you do something else. Or you do something, but you know you believe something else. So in order for there not to be cognitive dissonance, you need to align your actions and your values, what you do and what you believe. So prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest, not the best interest of self, not the best interest of other communities, but in the best interest of building within your community, within the black community, is pro-black. And so there has never been a time since race has become a social construct where any community outside of our community has decided above all interests, including their own best interests and the best interests of their loved ones and community, that they will build with black people. That has never happened. And then on top of that, how can you build a black community and bring other people to it? Can I build a wooden house with bricks? Can I build a brick house with wood? Appreciate you, me, myself, and I. That's not how that works. Last thing I'm gonna give y'all is a visualization, a metaphor. Let's say you walk out your house. You're walking out your house and you see Freddy Krueger. Do y'all know who Freddy Krueger is? Freddy Krueger is a monster that's in a lot of horror movies. He's got like blades on his fingers. You see Freddy Krueger chasing down a woman in the street. As soon as you open your door, your front door, you open it, and you see Freddy Krueger, you see the woman running, has red stuff all over her shirt. I'm trying to be TikTok friendly, so it's just red stuff. And you see her running, you're saying, ah! She's saying, ah, she's running. She's like, help me, help me. You want to help this woman. She's being chased by Freddy Krueger. So you have two choices. Do you go in your closet, get the click, clack, pow, and go deal with Freddy? Or do you run up next to her and say, hey, I'm running with you. What do you need? Do you need any help? What's going on? Where are you running? Where are we going? Which one is more helpful to that woman? Obviously, it's more helpful to go get the click, clack, pow. Getting the click, clack, pow and handling Freddy is dismantling racism. We as black people are the woman that's running. We're running where we are running to get the hell away from Freddy. Freddy's been on our back for 400 years. We have an idea of what we want to build as a people. We want to create institutions. We know where we want to go. We don't want Freddy coming with us. So when we talk about interracial relationships or we talk about being pro-black with a non-black spouse, you got to understand that people with a non-black spouse are better off being anti-racist and using Freddy to fight another Freddy than coming with us and bringing Freddy with them. All right, I'm done.
Hi, can I say something?
No, we were talking to Alexis. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Alexis, go ahead, talk to us.
I'm here. Thank you. I appreciate that the Freddy Krueger. That was great. No, yeah, I hear you and I agree with everything you just said, and thank you for, you know, doing that for all of us on the live. I guess for me, like I do think I am experiencing some cognitive dissonance. And I would probably say, you know, a lot of people that are half black and half something else probably do, because living in America, like that's just like what we're fed all the time. And I'm always reading, I'm always doing stuff to try to, you know, really connect and stay rooted in my blackness. And like I do want to move away from the sort of EDI anti-racism bullshit. And, oh sorry, oh my god, I'm like, I think I'm not supposed to say these things. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I just wanted to hop on here because I know I don't have all the answers. You know what I mean? And I want to get more firm in my pro-blackness. And I guess too, the other thing that I just get worried about is like, I think about Tulsa and I think about all of these attempts that we've made as a community to like make our own world and our own economic system, and like how we can really sort of depend on each other and not have to operate in these like oppressed systems. And it's like I just always come back to having to leave the country, like having to go somewhere else, like literally having to go back to Africa or something. So I guess I'm just hoping, like, I don't know, I would love to see like us having a foothold in America and having like a real pro-black society, but I guess I'm just a bit nihilistic and wondering like, yeah, I don't know what I can do to sort of put a step in the right direction. And that's basically it.
And I say, I'm noticing that like there's a confusion around what pro-black means. And I think a lot of y'all think that being pro-black is doing things like, whether it's randomly or consistently, that in some way benefit black people, is the same as prioritizing black people, and they're not the same thing. Benefiting black people and prioritizing black people are two different things. And a lot of times listening to some of y'all, especially the ones who, and it seems to be consistent amongst the people who date a variety of people, that y'all want to hold on to being pro-black while you date out. And you cannot do those things because they are in direct conflict. You are, at that point, you're no longer prioritizing black people when you decide to go somewhere else. And that doesn't mean that you're not black or any of that. It just means that you're not prioritizing black people. I always say, who you decide to partner with and procreate with is the one thing that nobody has control over for you. We live now in a day and time where you can choose to be with whoever you want to be with. And I love that saying of see what people want to do so you will see what they would rather do. Because for the people who decide to date out, y'all are showing us time and time again what you would rather do. And what you would rather do is not another black person. And that's okay, but stand on that. And that means that you are no longer pro-black. I'm sorry, but that's what it means.
Waiting for connection.
Okay.
How many black she had? Because it's this idea of trying to put more people around her that are not black. That was very interesting to me. And I think one of the craziest things I've seen YT people do to people like her is they give her this allyship with contingencies. So they make her feel like they're doing something for her or offering her something in regards to her friendship. And it's an empty gift. It's an empty relation, because they're doing the bare minimum of actually showing up and supporting something that would possibly affect you, but they're not doing the work that actually changes why it's affecting you. So trying to get non-black people to get into a fight or to participate in being pro-black is idiotic, because they need to go over there and talk to the same people that are pushing this system that keeps wheeling out the racism and keeps black people oppressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope I was able to articulate that. I appreciate you coming up, Miss Alexis. We're going to go to the next guest, but before we do, D, I think it's about that time.
Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. All right, we ate. Hello, 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 and welcome in to Brother Legends Live. You guys, let me sit up for a second. Let me gather myself. You are in Brother Legends Live. I need you guys to tap that screen. We need to tap into 100K. I don't know what's going on today, but we need you guys to tap it up. You guys have seen the foolery, the coonery, and the buffoonery, and you've been sitting those paws. Thank you, me, myself, and I think it was SB. You guys have come through like no other today, and we greatly appreciate it. But at the end of the day, we need you to tap that screen, share the live, share with your friends, your enemies. Hell, share with the cooneries. Come in, tap dance on this damn screen, and help us get to 100K. But also make sure you guys subscribe to Brother Legends Live. Subscribe here and on YouTube. And while you're at it, if you're trying to be educated and actually be able to uplift yourself and realize that, wait, I don't have allies. Wait, I need to read that book. Maybe I am anti-Black. Maybe you should tap into be1initiative.org and figure out how you can keep pushing forward. But until then, stay Black.
Appreciate you, sister. We're gonna go to the next guest. Shout out to everybody that's still with us. Let's get to 100K. Thick Black Diamond, appreciate you for subscribing. Y'all, let's get to 100K, and I'll turn the comments back on as you listen along. Just keep tapping, keep tapping. We almost there. We had 97. All you gotta do is look up in the top left. We're just trying to get to 100K. Keep tapping like. Thank you very much. The next guest is Neil. Could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Hey everybody, it's Neil. I'm 49 and I'm Black, and my pronouns is he, she, and her. That's my pronouns. It's my first time even talking about my pronouns, to be honest with you.
All right, talk to us.
I've been on for a minute, and I just wanted to. It's crazy because I had a discussion probably about a week ago with somebody that was in an interracial, I guess you say, relationship, and I made reference to a friend of mine when I was extremely young, and she dated, Black men. You know what I'm saying? She was YT. And so we got older. She no longer speaks to me. And this has happened to me twice in my lifetime, where I've gotten in heated discussions with people that, were associates or friends that dated out their race. And I'm definitely going to address the questions here. But one of the things that I don't like, and as I say, growing up Black, we can look at the situations where they might have grew up together. I'm talking about interracial relationships. This is no shade. I'm just keeping it 1,000. But they might have grew up together and things evolved. You know what I'm saying? Versus the fetishizing or the other reasons that people in our community date outside their race. So the conversation that we had was more or less, you might can sympathize and empathize with me, but you could never identify with me. I don't care how many B men you've been with, you can never identify with any of us. So that was her argument. I don't care how you feel. If you're saying you feel Black, because you're dating, Black men, or because you're having children from Black men, you could never identify with us. And so that was our biggest, argument. And then, I asked her, I said, do you agree that Black people today are still going through post-traumatic syndrome, passed down generation by generation? Because she...
Dr. Joy DeGroy?
Say what now? I can barely hear. I'm sorry.
Dr. Joy DeGroy.
Yeah. Yes, I'm definitely familiar with her.
All
because
right.
she was saying that she could choose another way, even though her ancestors had done wrong and stuff like that. She was saying all of this. So I asked her, I said, do you feel like Black people today are still going through post-traumatic syndrome? She said, absolutely. I see it, with my significant other. I see it with my kids. They go through. I said, then if you're saying that Black people today are going through post-traumatic syndrome, then what you said prior to was probably the most racist thing I've ever heard, because what you're saying is you're not subject to the DNA that's passed down to you, but we are. And she could not argue with me on that. And so at that point, she kind of made distance. This is what I was talking when I heard the woman earlier, when she was talking about, you know, more or less, you know, when people were trying to justify the interracial relationships and why it's wrong, it's not even their intent. Let's just say their intent might be good, but at the end of the day, you still got to deal with the variables of the post-traumatic DNA and the things that are passed down generationally that could be even damaging and traumatizing by default. And the young lady just mentioned, Miss Dr. Joy, she mentioned that. The next situation, I'm not going to be before you long. It's just, I'm so glad we're talking about this. The next situation was, she was Pakistani. She married a black man. And this is the problem I had. She's no longer speaking to me because she was talking about the N-word. So her son was using the N-word, you know, son using it as a term of endearment. You know, the dad was using it, you know, that him and his friends are talking about the game. And she came to them and told them, say, you're not going to use the N-word. You can't use the N-word in this house, this and that and the other. And she thought she was doing something that was honorable. And I told her, I said, you were wrong for that. And she said, how am I wrong? How am I wrong? The N-word. I said, the N-word is wrong for you. I said, but in return, what you've done, I said, you have no right to tell somebody how to be black. You have no right to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I told her this. And she said, what do you mean? I said, you don't understand because you can't identify. I said, we've been called that word for so long. I said, one thing about us, we could take a negative word and change the whole meaning just by our tone and how we use it. We always take control of words. And I said, how we use the word, it could be a term of endearment, it could be negative. I said, you don't have the right to tell anybody that's black how to be black. And I said, that's exactly what you did. And she didn't realize what she was doing. And so when we talk about, is interracial relationships harmful to the black community? Absolutely. And I feel like they can even be even more damaging and traumatizing, even by default, where you think you're doing, you know, the right service. And to me, it's a level of privilege, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't even ask them. Okay, so yes, I do feel like it is harmful. And one of the reasons I feel like it's harmful for our community, because we haven't even gotten fortified. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that kind of dilutes us. It dilutes our essence. It dilutes our identity. It dilutes us. I'm just keeping it 1,000. You know what I'm saying? If you want to marry outside your race, hey, I celebrate that. If it's authentic, we black, we know when it's real and when it's not. But even if it's real, okay, y'all fell in love in kindergarten and it just evolved, it doesn't give you the privilege of being pro-black either. It doesn't. I don't care how real your stuff is. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, I just feel like we need to focus on us. And I agree with the lady at the bottom, Miss D, when she said, you know, you can't be both. Because to me, that's nation building. That's dealing with choosing your reflection. As for the referring to other races as fetishes, I'm going to tell you what I've witnessed. I've witnessed the cattiness from YT women, you know what I'm saying, that taunts. I've dealt with YT women taunting us that dates black men. They're not, if you're so in love, like these examples I came before, you wouldn't even be studying us. But it's almost as if they're taunting us, you know what I'm saying, over and over again. So it makes me question your motive and why you with them in the first place. I hear how they talk about black men in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? I hear about all of this stuff. I've witnessed these things. And then when I look at black men, I don't know if I can say black men on here. I don't know. But when I look at, I can, okay. When I look at black men, and I'm completely against colorism, but a lot of them will say that do date outside their race, you know, and throwing us up under the bus. I've seen vice versa, you know what I'm saying? They throw us up under the bus. They say, well, we like how they look. We like, you know what I'm saying, the aesthetics of what the other races look like. And I've had a lot of them curse me out, go off on me, because at the end of the day, our community and our black race, we got Asian looking black people.